So I finished the new season of BAKI, which was rebranded to a completely new series called BAKI HANMA, because we can't confuse viewers enough already, since when BAKI premiered on Netflix, a lot of people didn't realize it was actually continuing where the 90s series left off. The 90s series, which was called BAKI the Grappler. So you have BAKI the Grappler, BAKI, and BAKI HANMA. But this actually goes back to the manga, actually changing its titles and becoming technically new series as it continued its run and went into different arcs. So the anime is actually being really faithful to the source material. The only thing is, if you don't know that, then you don't know, and nobody in the West would know because we still haven't gotten any physical releases of the BAKI manga in the US, which is just a crime against all of humanity if you ask me. But anyways, now that I've vented about that, I'm going to give you guys my review of BAKI HANMA Season 1. And before I jump into that, I do want to mention I have a sponsor for this video. Thank you very much, really appreciate it, and that is to Skillshare. And as you guys might know, I have turned down some sponsors before, but this one I think is truly valuable and definitely something to give your consideration to. In case you are unaware, Skillshare is this online video learning community with a ton of variety of different classes that you can search up and watch to help you with whatever it is you're looking to do, whether in your artistic or practical endeavors. I'm sure many people watching this video think that a video editing course would be something that I should do, and you're absolutely right. And it's so easy to get to. I just search up video editing, or actually video editing with Sony Vegas, since that's what I use, and then bam, a bunch of video classes appear that I can choose from. And these aren't just little tutorial videos, but actually full classes from people that actually know what they're doing and actually know what they're talking about. But any skill that you want to try or get better at from a creative to a practical perspective is here to check out. There's video lessons, class projects, from beginners all the way to advanced, and you can basically choose exactly what kind of advanced course that you want to take or beginner course depending on where you're at. Most of the classes are 60 minutes or shorter, so that helps fit within your schedule, and a lot of them are broken down into smaller segments, which helps you as well. With thousands of options and different creators, there's bound to be something here that you'll find to fit your niche or pick up something new that you hadn't thought of before. Like I said, I'm using this opportunity to try to learn more about editing software and making thumbnails for the videos because you guys know I'm not too great at that either, and I'm always trying to make better content for you guys, and this will definitely be helpful to me, and I think it'll be helpful to you as well. If you are interested in making videos, improving your art skills, or playing music, all of that is on here as well. There's also no ads. The videos are broken down into segments, like I said, and it's super user-friendly. So down in the description below, you will see a link, and the first 1,000 subscribers to use it will get 1 month of Skillshare absolutely free to use. And then after that, I believe it's only $10 a month. So if there is something out there that you want to learn or get better at, or just try something new, here's your chance. The link and info will be down below in the description blocks. Please make sure you go down and check it out. And once again, I really want to thank Skillshare for sponsoring this video. Very much appreciate it. So I've been trying to figure out a way to talk about the BAKI series on this channel for a bit, and it's a series that's very self-explanatory, which is why it's kind of hard to talk about, because it kind of doesn't need me to explain the concepts to you, because that's what the series literally does itself. It takes basic fighting ideas and philosophies and exaggerates that to ridiculous proportions. BAKI isn't a show to get bogged down on the themes or the underlying meaning. No, BAKI is literally a show about fighting. And it doesn't pretend to be anything else, and within its explanations of fighting styles, the state of mind of fighters, and others, if you look past its absolute insanity, the concepts it speaks of are actually pretty legit. Now, like I said, the Netflix BAKI series here, BAKI HANMA, is technically season 6 if you were to count all of the BAKI shows together. So if you've never seen any of BAKI, I would make sure to go back and watch BAKI the Grappler from the 90s, and I do believe it's all on YouTube for free. After that, there are 3 seasons of BAKI, and now there is season 1 of BAKI HANMA. But if you are not just an anime-only viewer, but a Netflix anime-only viewer, this is really the first time that you are seeing Baki truly take center stage and be the prime protagonist of the entire season. The other seasons on Netflix so far have focused on many different characters, including Baki, but this one really follows Baki through its entirety. The essential premise here being that Yujiro Hanma, Baki's father and the strongest man alive, has agreed to fight Baki for real. But before that happens, each of them are partaking in their own specific training. Baki's training leads him to a maximum security prison where he wishes to challenge the second strongest man alive, Biscuit Oliva. And this guy is a goddamn tank, but we'll get to him. First, I want to talk about how fantastic the first episode is. First, we are introduced to the way that Yujiro is training, taking down a massive kaiju-sized elephant with his bare hands. The whole scene is built up fantastically, with the park ranger explaining that he sent all of these military forces to take down this elephant that was killing people and animals, but the tanks couldn't even get one shot off before they were destroyed. Then, motherfucking Yujiro Hanma comes out of nowhere and rips the animal apart. Yujiro isn't in the season very much, but between the first episode intro and later on kidnapping George W. Bush and having him drive him around, hilarious. Also, it makes me forget just how long Baki has been going on as a manga, because we are just getting an adaptation of part of the manga that was coming out when George W. Bush was president, and some of you probably were not even alive then. But the first two episodes focus on a key element of fight training, which is shadowboxing, something that sounds so simplistic, but of course a series like Baki pushes the concept to its absolute extreme. It talks about the power of belief and focus, that your mind is what makes things feel real. All we are neurons interpreting things, so if you, or if Baki, truly believes that Iron Mike the boxer is in front of him fighting, his mind makes it true, and he's even able to receive damage from imaginary opponents. Because when the punch lands, Baki makes himself feel what it would feel like to really get punched by Iron Mike. And I do believe Iron Mike is based on Mike Tyson, and so an uppercut from him is no joke. But then again, this is Baki. Baki then uses his shadowboxing training method to battle the most dangerous animal he can think of. Similarly, to match the training of Yujiro versus the elephant, Baki chooses his own animal, which is a praying mantis, believing that an insect of that power on the scale of a human would be an almost invincible foe. And he's absolutely right. Episode 2 pits Baki up against an imaginary praying mantis that Baki is able to make feel as real as possible, needing to come up with some way to counter a creature faster than man, can see in all directions, and is unable to receive concussions from his kicks. It's just as wacky as it sounds, and I loved every part of it. The rest of the season puts Baki in this prison setting, again for training, and there's lots of fun characters here that we get to meet. The guy that takes up the bulk of the middle of the season is Gevara, known as Number 2, the second strongest guy here, and the third strongest guy in the world. Gevara, Oliva, and Yujiro all have specific satellites in space that keep track of their every movement, since they're that big of a threat to the Earth, which is just awesome. Anyways, Gevara grew up basically as a pirate and came here for the same purpose, to challenge Oliva. And Oliva really is this season's MVP. He has so many hilarious moments, hype moments, and then there's his girlfriend. Oh my god. So, say you're basically the most powerful guy ever. You go to a prison, but really everyone there, the inmates, the guards, the warden, they all cater to you. Oliva is not in a cell, but in a luxury spacious room, sipping down wine and eating 10,000 calories worth of food every day. And he's not even supplementing that with protein shakes. The man is literally obliterating 10k calories from legit food. Now, I love the confidence that Oliva has, and he really doesn't feel the need to prove anything to anyone, but at the same time, he loves to display his dominance that showcases that he can just do whatever he wants, and by not taking anyone who challenges him seriously. He's also hopelessly in love, so much so that he carries around a handkerchief that he bought from the same town that his girlfriend is from, and he sniffs it periodically. You could say that Oliva is a big old simp, and that's putting it lightly. But hey, maybe that's some positivity, that you can still be a simp and still be the second strongest man in existence. And now, I don't know what kind of joke they were trying to make here. I mean, I know some jacked bodybuilder types like big women, but Oliva really likes big women. We get to meet Maria, who is probably a spokesperson of My 600 Pound Life, and whom Oliva literally carries around in a bed on his back. He's also absolutely diehard obsessed with her and calls her the most beautiful woman in the world. And you know what? I'm not even gonna judge this, because there's nobody that has the testicular fortitude to judge Oliva to his face for this and not be afraid of the consequences. Well, other than Baki himself. So Baki showcases a lot of aspects of his personality this season, and I like how he makes friends with a lot of the inmates and saves a few of them from getting beat up by the guards. Baki is a good-natured guy, but he does have that Hanma blood in him, which really fuels him to challenge the best at whatever cost. He spends his time at the prison trying to antagonize Oliva into a confrontation and finally gets his wish in the final episode. And as far as the Netflix Baki series has gone, this is one of my top favorite fights. The absolute insanity of these two guys going head to head was built up very well. It's all kinds of hype, and when it finally happens, it feels very cathartic. And I like how it dives into fighting concepts like reaction time, that Baki's kick being so fast that though Oliva saw it, he wasn't able to defend it within that half a second's time. Or how when Baki was knocked flat, he felt like water seeping into the floor, that complete weightlessness feeling that you get when you've been hit extra hard. And anybody who's sparred before or been in any sort of fight training definitely knows that feeling. And the reveal of Baki's demon back, a cautionary tale that Yujira's blood does flow within him. And also talking about weight classes, that Oliva's size and height difference gives him a legit advantage over Baki, and Baki's only hope to win is just pure strength and endurance. Overall, I think this was a really fun and entertaining season, and I wish there was more, especially with the tease of what's coming next. Look, I don't know a lot about Pickle, because I haven't read that far in the manga, but from what I hear, the next arc of the anime series is going to be even more insane, if that's even feasibly possible, and I am so here for it. So let me know what you thought about Baki Hanma Season 1 down in the comments below, and just your feelings on the series in general, or how Netflix has handled it. Also, don't forget to check the description of this video for the Skillshare link, and get your first month free by using my code down below. And thank you once again to Skillshare for sponsoring this video. Also in the description, you will find my Patreon, merch store, and various social media links where you can follow me. Other than that, guys, I hope you all have a wonderful day, and I'll talk to you next time.